Right, let me go ahead and make sure we're getting on the road. Okay. Well, welcome back, guys, to the Driveline channel. Today, on this episode of Analog Drives, I thought it'd be prudent to talk about my 1-year ownership of the Porsche 993 and what I really think about it, because I totally do not understand this car. I've owned it for a year, and I had such high expectations for it, but they were totally missed. And that's probably the best way to describe my Porsche 993, 911 just experience in general. That I totally have missed expectations about it. It's just the reality didn't really match up to what I really thought this car was going to be. I honestly thought that this car was going to replace my E30 M3, and that's a whole separate issue, but I mean, from the beginning, I expected the 993 and just even having a 911 in general to be something truly extraordinary. And don't get me wrong, this car is absolutely fantastic. It's a great car to own. It's a great car to drive. We are on these beautiful, beautiful roads where you get to experience the fullness of the 911 and what it was primarily built to do on these switchback roads. But it's just not an extraordinary driving experience. And let me explain this to you, because I think probably a lot of people do feel these ways about owning a 911, and especially when they pony up so much cash to drop on an air-cooled 911 as well. I mean, these cars are just hailed as these wonderful, wonderful cars, that they're the peak of Porsche engineering and German ingenuity, and the truth is much more complicated than that. Yes, the 911 and this 993, it's beautiful. It's got history behind it, and it just even from a pure driving standpoint, it's great. But it's not better than a modern 911. And I really think that this car feels underwhelming for what it really is. And again, I mean, look at the roads that we're on. I mean, this is how you're supposed to enjoy your 911, and this is a great, great experience to have. I mean, the joy on driving a 911 through the winding mountains on a spirited drive is fantastic. But just consider how expensive these cars have gotten. I mean, the actual driving experience, it's just not in sync with the market value of these cars. The acceleration is okay, the handling is good, but it's just not an awe-inspiring car to drive. Man, look at that view though. Oof. They put up guardrails in this road because I think a lot of people were crashing. But again, what I'm getting at is that there's so much hype that surrounds the 993 and air-cooled cars in general. And the factors is just people have nostalgia over these cars, and they created a collector car market for these cars. I mean, just because the 993 marked the end of the air-cooled era doesn't mean that the 911 ceased to exist, although collectors will tell you that. I mean, this car just holds a symbolic value and a history of a rich story behind it, and it completely ignores just everything else around it. I mean, the case in point is kind of like my 1969 Camaro that I've had. I have 2 of them, and they're just woeful cars to drive. I mean, I've had a stock one, and I've had a pretty well-modified one. And you can build these cars as you wish. And even this 911, I mean, I've modified it quite a bit as well. I mean, I wanted to make the car better. I mean, I put coilovers, it's got sway bars, it's got an RS geared transmission. I mean, lightweight flywheel. This car has quite a bit going on. I mean, just listen to it. Listen to the Pfister mufflers. I mean, it's a wonderful car to drive and to own, but it's so driven by hype. And again, I don't think that the prices for these cars are justified. I think the hype has driven up these prices. And, you know, even though I have like all these missed expectations about this car, one thing I will never overlook is the strongest attribute that I think this car has, and that any 911 has that I've driven. Because I've driven 992s, 997s, and, you know, almost every single water-cooled car and a G-body as well, that it's an incredibly practical sports car. I mean, there's just absolutely nothing like it in the market. I mean, it's comfortable enough for me to do this whole entire drive without getting fatigued, and I can talk to you normally. And I just saw the time. I think, hold on, gotta pull over real quick. We're gonna turn around. Okay, much better. Now we're gonna go on the uphill. Oh. So where was I? Okay, I think I was talking about just the best aspect about the 911. I think by far nobody can overlook the usability of the 911. I mean, this is why this is the only car that people will brag about the miles in. I mean, this car has 80,000 miles. You look at a period Ferrari of the time, nobody's putting 80,000 miles on these cars. I mean, that's a rarity. These 911s, any air-cooled 911, I mean, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of miles on these cars, because whether you're picking up groceries like I do, or running errands, or taking longer trips, you want to do it in this car because it's so good at doing those things. I've never owned a car where I genuinely just felt inclined to drive it no matter where I was going. And I think that's what makes this 911 so special. But I just don't think that it lives up to the hype of being this best sports car. I think there are better cars to have in this segment, and I think the only thing that the 911 excels in is this usability aspect. I mean, sure, you can tell me that the 911 has this pure driving experience like no other. Well, have you ever driven a Lotus? And I'm not just saying that to rile people up, but you can't tell me that the 911 is the best driving experience to have in a car. The 911, like I said, is just the best usable sports car. And if that's your priority in a car, then that's a wonderful thing, because that's where the 911 is the best in. But if this is going to be your only special car, and that's my point, because the price of these cars is astronomical. Oh, it's hard to see, but the price just would cost what a very special car would be. I mean, it's hard to believe that, you know, for the same price that you can have this 911, you could have a Viper, you could have a Z06, a ZR1, you could have so many different cars. But I mean, my point is, and I want to conclude this video, is that I don't get the 911. I don't get this air-cooled hype. I don't get the specialness of this car. This engine is not that special. It doesn't rev that high. Yes, it sounds pretty cool, especially with the fan. I mean, you can hear it right now. But the 911 is just not a special car. And I think even to that point, you know, people just are afraid to speak up against the 911 because it's such a special car and so many people love it. Would I never ever buy another 911? No, I think I would still consider another 911. It would just never be another air-cooled car, because the market for these cars is just potholes. It's just not reflective of what I think this car ought to be. If this was a $60,000 or $50,000 car, the driving experience, the usability, everything about it would be totally worth it. But it's not. It's nearly double that. And as I ride away into the sunset, that's where I'm gonna leave this video. Anyway, guys, Thank you for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys later.